Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new video. It's your boy Two Fried. Hopefully everyone is having a great day and hopefully everyone is staying fried. I got a really good video for you today, boys. This video today is going to be about the time that my first time in delinquency. Basically my first time just getting into the vape, just everything. You know what I'm saying? But with all that being said and all that out of the way, hopefully y'all like and subscribe and hopefully y'all have a great time in today's video. And with all that being said, let's hop right into it. So this takes place right after school on a Friday afternoon at basically probably halfway into my sophomore year of high school. So it was just a normal day after school, right? I just got home. I was just chilling. I took a shower after school. I got me a little snacks, a little something to eat. It was pretty chilling. Don't remember exactly what, but I was pretty chilling, right? And remember, this was a time before I had ever hit the pen, really. So just remember that. So anyways, back on track. So I'm sitting there, I'm sitting at the house, I'm chilling, right? I've took my shower, I've got my snacks, I'm now just playing the game, right? I'm fixing to get on with the boys. That is my plan for this Friday night, right? Until I get added to this random group chat. Now, this random group chat was full of people I had really just recently kind of got in contact with and really just kind of just started getting to knowing, right? So I talked to them a couple days at school. They mentioned about something going on, but I didn't really expect to get invited, right? But I got added into the group chat and they invited me. They were like, dude, Two Fried, pop out. And I was like, bet, I will. Hold on, I'm getting a little cotton mouth. I was smoking a little before. Hold on. Oh yeah, feels great. But anyways, so they invited me to pop out, and at this time I didn't have my own car, and I didn't even have enough money to get an Uber. Like, I barely even had enough money to ever even get DoorDash. DoorDash was like gold to me. Like, I couldn't afford shit back then. No job, just completely delinquent and useless, right? So I, of course, have to go ask my dad to take me, and he agrees, like, very surprisingly. Never having to meet these people, he was just like, oh yeah, why not? So he ends up taking me over. It's about a 15-minute drive. So he drives me this 15 minutes, right? He drops me off, and I walk up to the door, and I knock. And I hear nothing, right? Well, I mean, I hear people inside, but nobody comes to the door to unlock it for me. So I end up knocking again, and I wait for like 2 minutes, and then I text my boy Jake. That's the name we're giving him, by the way. My boy Jake. And he's like, dude, don't even worry about knocking. Just come in, right? So I end up just walking in the door. It was unlocked, of course. And his mom sees me, and she's just like, hey, they're in the back. So I went to the back. I assumed she knew what I was here for. So, like, no questions at all, by the way. This dude's mom was insanely chill. But so I end up just going to the back. And I walk in, and there are like 10 people in this hoe. Like this is deep. Like, it's almost like a mini party, right? So I'm like a little like, I'm just like a little lost for words. Like, why there's so many people here? So, you know, I end up dabbing up my boy Jake. I say hey to a few other people. I end up meeting them. Some which ended up being pretty good friends. But I ended up meeting a whole bunch of people. And after that, not even like 2 minutes with me being in the room, they look at my boy Jake and they say, do we give him a blinker? And I was like, what's a blinker? And they were like, you don't know what a blinker is? And I was like, no, I don't know what that is. And so they end up being, oh dude, we got this, right? So they end up getting out this big, it was called a Big Chief, right? One of the, they were hyping this thing up. They were like, dude, it's the wooden tip, dude. You are finna be off your ass, right? So I was like, okay, bet. They were like, hit it until it stops. That's the only way it's gonna work. And I was like, oh, okay. So I hit it, right? And after like 2 seconds, I'm feeling this. Like, I'm really feeling it. And they're like, keep going, keep going, keep going. So I eventually go until it blinks, right? I inhale. And I let it all out, right? You know, speaking of the Cheersingtons, let's take one right now. Cheers. But, man, after I exhaled this Big Chief blink, it was almost like instantly something just had changed. Like, I was off my rocker, dude. I was sitting in that gaming chair, arms out to my side, dude, just looking up, dude. I was so fried. I don't even know if I was there, right? So eventually, we're just chilling there for like 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, these motherfuckers start throwing axes at the wall. Like, they just start throwing axes at the wall, like just target practice. And I'm like, now I sober up a little bit. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Like, they're like, oh, dude, we're just doing target practice. Target practice with axes in the bedroom? Axes and arrows. Okay, nice. Right? And, dude, this is like a townhome. Like, mom didn't give 2 shits. Not 2 shits, right? So, after having a little bit of target practice, and I was having some fun. I mean, I was fried throwing some axes, and we weren't like straight up chucking them, but dude, we were underhanding. Okay, maybe it wasn't an axe. Okay, it wasn't an axe. It was a little tomahawk. I'm sorry, a little tomahawk. I got my weapons mixed up. I'm sorry, didn't mean to. My fault, right? But it was a little tomahawk, and we were just not chucking, but we were just like kind of softball pitching this thing to the wall, right? And you could see where it was hitting the wall. Man, this thing was doing some damage, right? So after about 10 minutes of doing this and him trying to hit like every poster, right, we end up deciding that we want to go to like this little shopping center area, right? So we end up, and only one of the homies had a car, right? Only one of the homies had a car. So like 6 of us piled up in that car. And the other 4, I think they just stayed at the crib, honestly. No, they hopped in another car. Yeah, okay. So we got in 2 separate cars. And we went, right? So I went in the car with, I can't even name, but I went in the car with Jake. He was up in the front seat, and I was in the back seat with 2 other people, right? And on the way to this shopping center, dude, I was chiefing their vapes, dude. We were all chiefing. Like, I was posting to the Snapchat story, thinking I was so cool, dude. I bet you I looked so stupid. I thought I was so cool, right? But, you know, after listening to some music, thinking I'm on top of the world, chiefing this little fruity vape stick, we get to the shopping center, and we end up just messing around in the store, right? We get to the store, and I think it was a Target. We were in a Target, and we were just messing around for a little bit, because back in my city, there was this one specific Target in the specific shopping center that everybody would just go mess around in. No matter if, like, from the ages of 19, from like 15 to 19, you were in that Target messing some shit up. Like, you were throwing stuffed animals across the store, balls across the store, dude. You were just making the employee's life a living hell, right? So that's what we were doing. We were knocking a whole bunch of stuff off the shelves, dude. And this is like, we were riding bikes throughout the whole entire store. Like, not just the aisle, the entire store. We had a race on scooters around the store. Like, I was on the back of one of them. Jake was driving it, and we were just ramming into stuff. Like, we were racing and playing bumper cars with the shelves and each other at the same time. Like, so we were riding bikes around the stores. We were doing the little kart races, little scooter races, dude. Like, we were just basically making these employees' lives a living hell. And, dude, it was the funniest stuff back then, let me tell you. I felt like I was like, I don't know, dude. I felt like I was like just breaking, like, basically losing my virginity to doing delinquent shit. Like, I was just being a little jackass, right? So after doing that for about 30 minutes, we eventually just get kicked out, you know, or they threaten to call the police. So we just leave, right? After management is chasing us outside the Target, right? So we just end up leaving the Target, and now we're kind of at a loss for what to do. So we end up discovering that we're hungry. So my homie ends up bringing up this Chinese buffet that is like 20 minutes away, right? So what do? We end up hopping in the car. We all pile in, and we go to the Chinese buffet, right? I'm not going to give a specific name, but man, this buffet was popping, right? So here's what we did. My one friend did not want to pay. So what he did is he told me that he was going to say that he wasn't going to eat, but he was just going to eat off my plate. So when we got there, he said he wasn't going to eat anything, so he didn't have to pay because he was broke as hell. I got my parents to send me $20 for food. I finessed, right? So, and then we only went here because it was like $12 per person for an all-you-can-eat buffet. It was a hell of a deal, right? So, we end up getting this buffet. He tells me what he wants. He wants some crawfish, dude. And, dude, I'm still a little fried, but not too much, right? Because, again, I was still a virgin at smoking. My lungs were pretty virgin. And so I'm sitting here. I'm eating my orange chicken. I'm eating my noodles, dude. And he is just grabbing these crawfish slowly off my plate. And then the worker sees this and comes over, and she is like, "Hey, why are you taking the crawfish off his plate? I thought you weren't eating." And dude, at the same time, we are just dying laughing as he's like looking back going, I'm not. I just wanted to try a piece." And she goes, okay, that's fine, but no more, right? And as soon as she turns away, bro, this man grabs like 3 crawfish off my plate and just devours that shit, dude. And eventually, they end up just telling us to leave. They make us pay our tickets and leave because this man wouldn't stop stealing the crawfish, dude. She didn't even come and complain a second time. She literally just went and told the manager, and we got told that we need to pay our checks and leave, right? So now this is the second place, basically, we have been kicked out of. So now we are now at the counter trying to pay her, right? And they end up charging me, right, for my normal plate, obviously. And obviously they want to charge my boy Jake. Like they're trying to charge him. They're trying to give him a receipt, basically. And my boy ain't having it. He just dips out the store and goes to the truck. Just dips out the store and goes straight to the truck. Like, and I didn't blame him. I mean, I barely had money myself, but that was the type of shit we was on back in the day. I mean, I paid. I got my fortune cookie, but so I just had to walk out of there because I was like, I paid. I'm getting out, right? I'm getting out. So after all the I need another drink, chat. Ah, man, it feels great. But so after all this, right? I am now in the truck, and I'm trying to get the hell back to the crib, right? Everybody is, bro. So we end up putting the hoe in drive. We end up going back to the crib. So we end up going back to the crib, dude. And we all just end up getting back in there, and we are chilling, right? It is now, instead of 10 people, it's probably like... Actually, it's probably still 10 people, right? And I think we invited a couple more people, which I met. And, met some really good friends from this friend group right here. And dude, by the end of the night, we ended up having like, there were 5 people on one bed. It was me and 4 other people, and then there was like 9 other people. Whoa, 5 plus 9, that's way too much. There's 5 people on the bed, and there was like 6 people on the floor. Like 6 people, like it literally looked like someone came in and committed homicide and just slaughtered everybody. Like there was just 6 people sleeping on the floor and 5 people sleeping on the bed, dude. And it was just like a hell of a night, dude. It was a hell of a night for me to get into delinquency. I got kicked out of 2 places, and I'd had basically like, it was basically like a little function, dude. Like that was like, dude, I'll always remember that, man. Within the first like 2 minutes I was there, it was straight blinker, man. And man, I met some really good friends from back then, but man, that was my first time getting into delinquency. And hopefully y'all enjoyed. Hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. Hopefully y'all leave a like, comment what other content you want to see, subscribe, turn on the little bell, you know what I'm saying. But hopefully y'all enjoyed that video. I know I enjoyed telling the story because it was good times back then. But with all that being said and the story being told, hopefully everyone has a great day and stay fried.